not to mention the weather in Las Vegas is pretty good this time of year. It's been a little chilly, but it's a good place for us to know that we can get a good solid test in and just get ready for our season to start.
Jeff, you have such a long season. How grueling is it for the drivers?
Oh, it's pretty tough, but I tell you one thing that's good about it. During the off season, we have time for ourselves, time to go testing, time to do certain things, but we're not necessarily in a routine, and sometimes it's good to be in that routine where you know where you're going to be at and what downtime you have and what time you don't have, and it's a long season, there's no doubt, and I think the difference between who's going to win the championship and who doesn't is a team that can stay mentally and physically ready for each weekend all the way to the end.
This might be different than most sports, but as a defending champ, is it different in this sport? Are people gunning for you, or since everybody's out for themselves, is it different than most team sports?
Well, I think we recognize that our fiercest competition, is ourselves. I mean, to make sure we stay focused and do our jobs to make improvements over the off season, and we feel like we've got all the right resources, all the right people, and the chemistry's there, but you got to put the whole package together out there like we did last year, and in order to do that, don't focus so much on the other guys, but stay focused on your own program, and every year something different wins a championship. You don't have to win a ton of races, but sometimes you'll end up sliding a bunch of wins in there, but it's all about that consistency, and I hope that we're one of the guys to beat and that they're all gunning for us, but we know there's going to be a lot of competition that's going to make it tough.
Where does the Speedway rank for you?
Well, up until last year, it was kind of lower down on my list. We hadn't had a lot of success here, but after last year's victory, this is high on my list. I mean, I've always liked the track. They've done such a great job. It's smooth, transitions are nice, offers great racing, and they just got a first-class facility, but it just never really ran well here until last year, and that definitely boosted my confidence level for this racetrack to a whole new level.
Jeff, it's such a fine line between having fun and it being a business, isn't it?
It is. You gotta make time to have fun, because it's very competitive in a lot of different ways. I mean, obviously the competition on the track, but also with sponsors and just the whole marketing of it and trying to grow the sport, and so you really got to make sure that you're working hard for the people that are allowing you to do all this, for your sponsors, the fans and the television and everything, but you got to find time to relax and enjoy life and get away sometimes. So anytime we're not racing, which isn't very often, you got to make the time to get away, and it can burn you out, but I still have to come to reality every once in a while and realize that I got it pretty darn good and I don't have much to complain about.
There were a few rule changes in the off season. Any of them affect you, and what exactly are there? Anything that you're really focusing on out here while you're testing?
I would say one of the biggest things maybe here is the engine rule. Knowing that this engine is the one that we're going to qualify, practice, and race instead of putting a qualifying motor in. So getting a lot of laps and information on the engine to see how hard we can push it and how long it's going to last when we do push it. Other than that, the only other real rule changes are for Daytona, which don't necessarily apply here.
You just came from Daytona. How did your testing down in Daytona go?
It went well. We're real excited. Hendrick Motorsports done a great job over the off-season preparing for the restrictor plate tracks with the new rules. Chevy seemed to be pretty good. We hope that that's still the case when we go back down there in February. But both Jimmy and myself and all the Hendrick cars seem to run real well.
Jeff, you're a sports fan. Who do you like in the Super Bowl? Did you have a chance to watch those games?
There were some great games. Of course, I'm a 49ers fan, so I was kind of pulling for my Niners. But I don't know. St. Louis, I think it's going to be tough to beat. But I tell you what, the Patriots there, that was pretty impressive what they did yesterday. So I don't know. We just have to see. Sometimes it's more than just the best team. Sometimes a little luck doesn't hurt any either.
Are you a boxing fan at all?
Not a big boxing fan. I met Evander Holyfield a few years ago, and real nice guy. And so if he's boxing, I'll watch.
What about Tyson?
Oh, he's a maniac. I mean, I love to watch him box. I mean, who wouldn't like that? Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks,
Jeff.
Did you film what you